Let me ask you something. When was the last time you stood up straight, really straight, without thinking about it? Not forcing it, not reminding yourself. Just naturally tall, balanced, and pain-free? If you had to pause and think about that, you're not alone. And what I'm about to share with you today might explain why your back aches by noon, why your neck feels like it's carrying a boulder by evening, and why no amount of walking seems to fix any of it. Because here's the thing most people over 60 don't realize. The problem isn't that you're not moving enough. The problem is something hiding in plain sight, something that's been silently stealing your posture, your energy, and your confidence for years. And it can be corrected sitting right in your favorite chair in less time than it takes to brew a cup of coffee. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share changed the lives of thousands of seniors, and it could change yours too. Here's a fact that shocked even me when I first came across it. Researchers at the University of Waterloo found that the average adult spends over 9.5 hours per day in a seated position. 9.5 hours. And for adults over 60, that number climbs even higher. But here's what most people don't realize. It's not the sitting itself that destroys your posture. It's how you're sitting, and more importantly, which muscles go completely silent while you do it. According to a landmark study published in the Journal of Physical Therapy Science, prolonged sitting causes what scientists call gluteal amnesia, a condition where your glute muscles essentially forget how to fire. And when those muscles go quiet, your spine has no foundation to stand on. Your pelvis tilts. Your lower back curves the wrong way. Your shoulders round forward. And over time, that becomes your new normal. Orthopedic specialists at Johns Hopkins have confirmed that poor seated posture is now one of the leading contributors to chronic back pain in adults over 60. Surpassing even heavy lifting as a cause. That's the bad news. Now here's the good news. By the end of this video, you will discover the single most powerful chair-based exercise for restoring your posture. One that has been validated by physical therapists, backed by peer-reviewed research, and proven to work faster than walking 5,000 steps a day. You'll learn exactly why it works, exactly how to do it, and the most common mistakes that could stop it from working. Today, you'll discover why this one movement targets the hidden root cause of stooped posture in seniors, and how just a few minutes a day can help you stand taller, move easier, and feel decades younger. Stay until the end, because the final section is the most powerful part of this entire video, and it includes a step-by-step action plan you can start today. Let's count down the 5 critical things you need to understand about posture, aging, and this remarkable chair exercise, building all the way up to the number 1 thing that will transform how you feel in your own body. Number 5. Your posture problem didn't start in your back. It started in your hips. Most people assume that poor posture is a back issue. They buy lumbar cushions. They try to remember to sit up straight. Maybe they even walk more. And they wonder why nothing seems to stick. Here's the surprising part. The spine doesn't fail on its own. It collapses because the structure beneath it, your hip flexors and your posterior chain, stops doing its job. Think of your spine like a flagpole. No matter how strong that pole is, if the ground beneath it is unstable, it will lean. That's exactly what happens to your posture as you age. A study published in the European Spine Journal followed adults between ages 55 and 75 and found that hip mobility loss preceded visible postural decline in over 78% of cases. The hips went first. The posture followed. Most seniors overlook this completely because hip tightness doesn't always feel painful at first. It just feels like normal stiffness, like getting older. But it isn't normal, it's correctable. The chair exercise you're going to learn today directly targets hip flexor release and posterior chain re-engagement, which is the exact combination physical therapists use in clinical settings to restore upright posture. The way to do this is simple. While seated in a firm chair with your feet flat on the floor, you gently tilt your pelvis forward and backward, what therapists call a seated pelvic tilt, 10 times slowly. This wakes up the connection between your hips and your spine that sitting has put to sleep. Most people make the mistake of rushing through this movement or barely moving at all. The magic is in the slow, deliberate tilt. Feel each position. Hold it for 2 full seconds. That's where the reactivation happens. And here's an additional benefit you might not expect. This simple movement also stimulates the sacral nerve plexus, which has been linked in research from Stanford to improvements in bladder control and lower body circulation. You'll feel taller after this. And that's just number 5. Number 4. Your breathing pattern is making your posture worse. and almost no one talks about this. Here's what most people don't realize. Every time you take a shallow breath, the kind you've probably been taking for years without knowing it, your ribcage collapses slightly inward. Do that thousands of times a day, and your thoracic spine, the middle section of your back, begins to round permanently. Researchers at the Respiratory Physiology and Neurobiology Journal published findings showing that shallow chest breathing directly correlates with increased thoracic kyphosis, that forward hunch position so common in adults over 60. In simpler terms, how you breathe is shaping how you stand. Seniors overlook this because breathing feels automatic. We don't think about it. But the truth is, most of us shifted to shallow breathing decades ago, from stress, from desk work, from grief, from simply getting busy with life. The diaphragm weakened. The chest caved. The posture followed. The chair exercise component here is called diaphragmatic breathing with rib expansion. While seated, you place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. You inhale slowly for 4 counts, expanding your belly outward, not lifting your shoulders. Hold for 2 counts. Exhale for 6 counts. Repeat 8 times. This retrains your breathing muscles and gently mobilizes the thoracic spine at the same time. The mistake most people make is lifting their shoulders when they inhale. That's chest breathing, the very pattern we're trying to replace. Keep those shoulders still. Let the belly do the work. The additional benefit? This technique activates your parasympathetic nervous system, reducing cortisol levels and lowering blood pressure. Research from Harvard Medical School confirmed that diaphragmatic breathing practice daily for 8 weeks produced measurable improvements in both posture and cardiovascular health in older adults. 2 birds, 1 breath. Number 3, the muscle group most responsible for your stooped posture and why no one ever trains it. Stay with me because this one surprises almost everyone. The muscle group most responsible for keeping you upright isn't your abs. It isn't your back muscles. It's your deep neck flexors. These are tiny muscles at the very front of your cervical spine, and in most adults over 60, they are profoundly weak. When these muscles lose strength, your head drifts forward. For every inch your head moves forward from its natural position, it effectively adds 10 pounds of load to your cervical spine. That's according to research published in Surgical Technology International. For many seniors, the head is already 2 to 3 inches forward, adding 20 to 30 pounds of unnecessary strain to the entire spinal system. This is why people feel so exhausted just from standing. They're carrying invisible weight all day. The reason most seniors never address this is simple. No one tells them it exists. Standard exercise advice almost never mentions deep neck flexors. But physical therapists who specialize in postural restoration work on these muscles in almost every session. The chair exercise here is called a chin tuck. While seated tall, you gently draw your chin straight back. Not down, straight back, as if you're making a double chin. Hold for 5 seconds. Release slowly. Repeat 10 times. This directly strengthens the deep neck flexors and repositions the head over the shoulders where it belongs. The most common mistake is nodding the head down instead of pulling it back. The movement is horizontal, not vertical. Think of it as sliding your head along a shelf. Additional benefit. A 2019 clinical trial in the Journal of Manipulative and Physiological Therapeutics found that seniors who practiced daily chin tucks for 6 weeks reported a 42% reduction in neck pain and a significant improvement in balance scores. Better posture, less pain, better balance. All from a movement so subtle, most people in the room won't even notice you doing it. If you're finding this helpful, please take a moment right now to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Every week, we bring you research-backed health information designed specifically for adults over 60. Practical, proven, and told in plain language. Tap that notification bell so you never miss a video. Now, let's get to number 2. And trust me, this one is even more powerful than everything you've heard so far. Number 2. The single biggest postural mistake seniors make every single morning, within the first 5 minutes of waking up. What happened next shocked researchers at the University of Melbourne when they began studying morning mobility patterns in adults over 65. They found that the way a person rises from bed and transitions to their first seated position sets the muscular tone for their entire day. Specifically, seniors who moved directly from lying to sitting to standing without any spinal preparation showed significantly higher levels of spinal compression and muscular guarding throughout the following hours. In other words, your morning movement pattern is programming your posture for the rest of the day. And most seniors are starting every single day on the wrong foot without knowing it. Here's why this matters so much. During sleep, the intervertebral discs in your spine rehydrate and expand slightly. This is actually a good thing. It means your spine is taller in the morning than at any other time of day. But it also means the spine is more vulnerable in those first waking moments. Rushing into a seated slump compresses those discs before they've had a chance to settle into their proper positions. Over time, repeated morning compression contributes to disc degeneration, nerve irritation, and the chronic forward lean that so many seniors accept as just part of aging. It is not just part of aging. The chair-based correction for this is a morning-seated spinal decompression sequence. The moment you sit in a chair after waking, before coffee, before phone, you perform what's called a seated cat-cow. Sitting at the edge of your chair, feet flat, hands on knees, you slowly arch your lower back forward and lift your chest toward the ceiling. That's the cow position. Then slowly round your spine backward, tucking your chin gently and drawing your navel in. That's the cat position. 10 slow repetitions. This takes under 90 seconds and prepares the entire spine for the day ahead. A study in the Journal of Bodywork and Movement Therapies found that adults who performed a morning spinal mobility routine reduced their daily pain scores by an average of 31% over just 4 weeks. 31%. Before breakfast. The mistake most people make is doing this too fast. This is not exercise. This is restoration. Move like you're moving through warm honey. Slow and controlled. Your spine will thank you every single day. And the additional benefit. This sequence has been shown to reduce morning stiffness, improve hip mobility, and even boost morning energy levels by stimulating the vagus nerve. You will feel the difference from day one. And now, number 1. The single chair exercise that outperforms 5,000 steps for posture restoration. The one movement that ties everything together. The one that physical therapists call the postural reset, and the one that could genuinely change the way you feel in your body starting this week. It's called the seated thoracic extension with shoulder blade squeeze. And before you think that sounds complicated, it isn't. It requires nothing but a firm chair and 2 minutes of your time. But here's what makes it so extraordinary. A groundbreaking study published in the Archives of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation compared 3 interventions in adults between ages 60 and 78. Group 1 walked 5,000 steps per day. Group 2 performed standard stretching routines. Group 3 performed targeted seated thoracic extension exercises 3 times per day for 8 weeks. The results were remarkable. The walking group showed minimal postural improvement. The stretching group showed moderate improvement. But the seated thoracic extension group showed a 37% improvement in thoracic spine curvature, a 29% reduction in forward head posture, and a 44% improvement in self-reported quality of life scores. 44% from a chair exercise. Here's why it works so powerfully. The thoracic spine, the middle portion of your back from your shoulder blades down to your lower ribs, is the keystone of your entire postural system. When this region becomes stiff and flexed forward, as it does in virtually every adult who spends significant time seated, the entire spine compensates. The lumbar spine overcurves. The neck juts forward. The shoulders round inward. Correcting the thoracic spine doesn't just fix the middle of the back. It creates a cascading restoration up and down the entire spine. It's the one lever that moves everything else. And here's what most people don't realize. You cannot effectively restore thoracic extension through walking. Walking is a forward plane movement. It does not mobilize the thoracic spine and extension. This is why 5,000 steps a day, while wonderful for cardiovascular health, simply cannot deliver what this one exercise can for your posture. Here is exactly how to perform it. Sit toward the front edge of a firm chair, not a plush sofa, a solid chair. Place your feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Interlace your fingers behind your head, elbows pointing out to the sides. Now, gently and slowly lean backward over the back of the chair, allowing your thoracic spine to extend over the chair back while keeping your core lightly engaged. Your chest opens toward the ceiling. Your shoulder blades draw together and downward. Hold this position for 3 to 5 seconds, breathing deeply. Then slowly return to upright. That is 1 repetition. Perform 8 to 10 repetitions. Rest for 30 seconds. Perform a second set. Do this 3 times per day, morning, midday, and evening, and you're doing exactly what that research group did to achieve those extraordinary results. The most common mistake people make with this exercise, and it's critical, is allowing the lower back to do all the work. The movement must originate in the middle back, the thoracic region. If you feel significant strain in your lower back, you're likely extending too far. Start with a gentle, small range of motion and gradually increase it over days and weeks as your thoracic spine regains its mobility. Progress slowly. Consistency matters far more than intensity. The additional benefits of this exercise are almost too many to list. Research published in the Clinical Journal of Pain found that regular thoracic extension significantly reduces tension headaches, because it decompresses the upper cervical nerves that tight thoracic posture pinches. A study in geriatric physical therapy linked thoracic extension exercises to improved lung capacity in older adults, because when the chest opens, the lungs can fully expand. Participants in postural restoration programs built around thoracic extension also reported improved sleep quality, reduced anxiety, and greater confidence in social situations. Because when you stand tall, you feel tall. That's not just a figure of speech, it's neuroscience. Research from Harvard psychologist Amy Cuddy confirmed that postural changes produce measurable shifts in hormonal balance, including increases in testosterone and decreases in cortisol within minutes of assuming an upright, expansive position. Imagine waking up tomorrow, sitting in your chair, performing this 2-minute sequence, and feeling your spine open, feeling your shoulders drop back where they belong, feeling your chin lift naturally without you having to think about it. That is not a fantasy. That is exactly what thousands of seniors have experienced, not after months of physical therapy, not after expensive treatments, but after committing to this one exercise 3 times a day from the comfort of their own chair. Let's bring it all together now. Here is your complete action plan. Every morning, before anything else, perform 10 seated cat-cow movements at the edge of a firm chair to prepare your spine for the day. Then perform your 10 shin tucks, head sliding back, not nodding down, to activate those deep neck flexors. 3 times throughout your day, morning, midday, and evening, perform 2 sets of 10 seated thoracic extensions over the back of your chair. Once daily, practice 8 rounds of diaphragmatic breathing with your hands on your chest and belly. And every session, begin with 10 slow seated pelvic tilts to wake up the connection between your hips and your spine. The entire routine takes under 15 minutes per day. And based on the research, within 4 to 8 weeks, you should begin to notice real, visible, measurable changes in how you stand, how you feel, and how others see you. A quick and important safety note. If you have been diagnosed with osteoporosis, spinal stenosis, herniated discs, or any other spinal condition, please consult your physician or physical therapist before beginning any new exercise routine. The exercises described in this video are designed for generally healthy adults over 60. Modify as needed and always listen to your body. Now here is my question for you, and I want you to leave your answer in the comments below because your experience could inspire someone else watching this video today. What part of your body bothers you most from sitting too much? Is it your lower back, your neck, your shoulders? Let me know below. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with someone you love who might need to hear this today. Because better posture isn't just about looking good. It's about breathing fully, moving freely, living confidently, and feeling like yourself again, at any age.